Hotel Villa Maya, our digs in Flores. Macaw. There were at least 5 brightly colored macaws at the Villa Maya. There are 2 ways to get to El Mirador. You can walk for 2 days, or you can fly. It has become recognized that preserving the rainforest of the Mirador Basin will require large sums of money, and that tourism offers the best source for that money. That is the reason El Mirador has been open to the public. Clear-cutting and burning are major problems in Petén and the Mirador Basin. The rainforest is being removed at an alarming rate. Cenote, source of potable water today and also for the ancient Maya. Landing at El Mirador. Camp, where archaeologists and workmen stay for 2 months during the rainy season, which is when the excavation of the site takes place. This is the main staging area. These men stay year-round at the digs. They are like caretakers. They also guard against looting. From here we traveled by mule, Kawasaki mule, that is. Our archaeological guide, Enrique, who is driving, and our Taka Airlines rep, Natalia. La Danta is the largest structure of El Mirador. It is a ceremonial temple. You have to understand, pyramids and stairs go together. These stairs were made from 2 stakes and a log. These stairs were made from rock. All of that stair climbing was up the buried portions of La Danta. Finally, we reached the top, exposed portion of the ancient temple. I should have said the bottom of the top of the ancient temple. Of course, there were more stairs to get to the top of the top. Once at the top, you overlook all the lands below, just as the ancient Maya ruler would have. Just another step back, dear. What goes up? Back on the mules and off to... This section of the temple has been restored, and plaster made from fired limestone has been applied, as it was originally. The faint red and black curved lines are original, like about 150 BC. Lunch. There are no facilities at El Mirador. They tunneled into this structure, the Temple Jaguar, because they thought that there was a burial chamber inside. There wasn't. Instead, they found there was another structure that had been built on top of, and they found a mask inside. The mask dated back to 500 BC. This tunnel is off limits to the general public, but because we were a sponsored group and Enrique was with us, we were allowed access. The tunnel was low and tight. Then they tunneled vertically, a short ladder up to a second level, and then a bit more vertical excavation. See the red? That is the face of the monster of this mask. This limestone mask is 2,500 years old. The 2 props and the small platform support the nose of the mask. That is Enrique, our archaeological guide. Nearby is the much heralded frieze, which has been restored. There's a video link at the end of the movie that explores the frieze in detail. The frieze is protected by the ubiquitous black plastic sheets. It was like a steam oven in there. Spider monkeys, high in the canopy, were unhappy with our presence and dropped branches down on us. Back to the staging area. There were more conventional meals there too, and then on to the helicopters for a ride back to Flores. Flores is a town which completely occupies a small island located in Lake Petén Itzá. We stopped for refreshments at Maya International, the second of 5 hotels owned by our accommodations host Rafael Sagastume. Hotel Maya International is on the mainland near the heliport site and also on Lake Petén Itzá. Next stop, the Maya city of Huasactún. The Guatemalan government is in the process of restoring Huasactún. These men are carving limestone blocks for use on the site. They take the tailings from the carving process and fire them at a very high temperature, and that makes lime, from which they make a plaster to cover the limestone blocks. You can see the restored sections, and you can also see the construction method. Carved lime rock facing, with miscellaneous debris piled in behind. The carved blocks are then stuccoed with a lime plaster. I observed that the unrestored areas, because of the nature of lime and because of the annual rainfall, have become like large clumps of concrete. The cement is rudimentary, and the clumps can therefore be broken apart with effort, as evidenced by the tunnels that we have seen. This structure was a residence, a palatial residence. Interior spaces of the palatial residence. Elementary school children who happened also to be at the Huasactún digs. Corn husk doll sold by a young artisan at the site. This sign shows how the buildings were used to track the sun across the sky, enabling the Maya to develop their very accurate calendar. We have moved on now, by bus, to Building 4 at Tikal. You can see the restorative work being done in the foreground. Another archaeological guide joined us at Tikal, Hadi Lopez. Hadi is an archaeologist and is currently working on the restoration of Temple 4 at Tikal. Tikal is much more organized and developed than either El Mirador or Huasactún. They even have bathrooms. This gated area at the top of Temple 4 is off limits to the public, but because we were here with Hadi, we were able to enter. Inside the gated area are wooden lintels. These are reproductions, as the originals were taken to Switzerland. The view from Temple 4, and there's a welcome breeze up here as well. You can see how narrow and how steep the stone steps are. There are no guardrails. Looking down the steep steps can be a little unsettling. Hadi and Enrique on top of Temple 4, getting ready to head back down. There just had to be stairs around somewhere. Lots and lots of stairs. There is another tunneled excavation under Temple 4. This excavation revealed the basic building techniques that enable accurate reconstructions. Additionally, they learned that Temple 4 had been built on top of an earlier temple. Temple 3 at Tikal. We walked around Temple 3, but we climbed to the top of this Temple 2. You guessed it, there were a few stairs to negotiate in order to reach the top. You can see that the Tikal site is well developed. Across the plaza is Temple 1. A well-preserved example of a typical Maya mask. Temple 1 from the side, and Merrill. The path leading out of Tikal National Park, and leading to lunch, and to the bus and the end of our trip to Guatemala 2011. These are links, YouTube video links, and Wikipedia links, and links to the Mirador Basin website, and to companies who sponsored our trip.